Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about The Naked Gun from 2025. Parody movies really haven't had a great run as of in recent memory, I think because of the Friedberg Seltzer, whatever the epic movie guys were. And that whole run kind of like deflated the whole genre. But we had Pop Star a while ago, and it looks like the director, one of the main creative people behind Popstar, Akiva Schaffer, has come back to bring back The Naked Gun, and it's a lot of fun. In fact, I haven't really watched a comedy like this where people are just laughing the entire time. Actually, since Popstar, which was 2016, I actually checked. There have been other really notable, really funny comedies. I didn't get to see those in theaters, like Hundreds of Beavers or Barb and Star, or even the Barbie movie, but I'm counting movies that don't have a part where like you get real sad and stuff. So this one does not make you sad at all. But this is basically a Lego sequel. Actually, Liam Neeson is playing the son of Leslie Nielsen in this. They do a thing about how like Paul Walter Hauser is also the son of a guy. They have the OJ joke. They have one OJ joke only. Curious if they decided to reboot this after OJ died or what the plan was with that since of the timing, but who knows. But I think this is a really raucous, like glorious parody film that gets into what was great about the Zaz comedies. Because what was great about the Zaz comedies was something that I think a lot of people miss, and definitely those superhero movie, epic movie people miss a lot, is that yes, there were jokes in it. Yes, there was a lot going on, and all of that. But the Zaz guys were weird and would do sight gags and would do funny things and would do strange stuff. Look at the Top Secret part with the Peter Cushing and the huge eye that's like backwards and stuff. They would be surreal and strange. You'd have so many sight gags behind you that you barely see, but were there. These kind of films make you, if they're done right, which this is, it makes you alert as a viewer. When I watch more Looney Tunes lately, because of me TV Tunes and my kids like watching Looney Tunes with me, it makes you more alert as a viewer because you're questioning what's going on. It's questioning things. It makes you go, oh, what if this happened? And then you see it. Like there's a thing with the opening credits where they can't fit the Naked Gun, so they have to figure out a way to get the gun part in there typography wise. Like there's parts of like, I don't know. I don't want to just like list off jokes, and I guess that is the thing you can't do. Almost everyone said I don't want to list off jokes when I've looked at your review, but you do kind of want to. But it like brings into question everything, and like you think like, oh man, I don't want to ruin it. There's like certain parts where like you see a part in the movie, go, well, what if this happened? And this movie does like so many of those. I feel like some of them were from like my own brain or something like that. It was amazing and so much fun to see on the big screen, and it's so much as a viewer. You like I noticed there was one part, there's like a UFC fight and they have like a little NPR logo hidden in there, and like that's hilarious that NPR would be a sponsor for this, but it's not a laugh out loud joke. But they have so many little like sight gag things that you're like, you'll blink if you miss them on top of their other jokes. It's just like there's so much work that went into this. This is probably maybe like might be Akiva Schaffer's most intensely made film, like even more than Popstar. Although I think Popstar is better than this. I've learned a lot of people didn't like Popstar when researching this, which I was surprised. So this is about Frank Drebin Jr. Is investigating, basically gets in trouble for what he does at the bank thing, which you've seen in the trailers and all that, and then he's put on car duty or something, and a car drives off a cliff, and he gets into a huge investigation about this self-driving cars and this big billionaire who is trying to remake the world, and using his self-driving cars and all this stuff, which I guess it's sort of supposed to be Musk, but it's played by Danny Houston. Frank Drebin is trying to figure that out. And the guy who was murdered, his sister, is played by Pamela Anderson, who writes true crime that she made up herself. And they sort of start a relationship. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson are going on an adventure to kind of stop Danny Houston. The plot is important, I guess. And it is like sort of about, the evil plot is like pretty much the plot of Kingsman. I'm a little confused about that no one brought that up, but it's basically the plot of Kingsman, effectively. But it's sort of like, it's definitely commenting on Elon Musk and the like of those, which is interesting. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's very political. This is a really, really funny movie. In fact, after I watched it, I was like, oh shit, I'm definitely watching this like a million more times. Like, this is like a lot of fun to have on. Liam Neeson is really good. In fact, I'd say this has to go down with some of the best performance. Like, this has to go like right up there with like Oscar Schindler and Taken guy or whatever. It's definitely one of his most iconic roles, and I think he's legitimately one of his best performances. I'm not joking about that. I think it's an incredible, great comedic performance by someone who really knows what they're doing. I know people bring up I think it's Ted or Ted 2 thing, or the thing in, I think it's The Life's Too Short. I'm actually like, wasn't he a funny cop in Lego Movie? Why don't we brag about Lego Movie? I feel like Lego Movie gets under talked about. I never liked Pamela Anderson better in this. Danny Houston, who I literally saw in a shitty movie playing a bad guy, the Crow remake, a year ago, and he wasn't very good in that. And felt like he didn't really like being in it. And this, it feels like he likes being there, and he's really good in it. I was like, this is crazy. Like, it has two people who you're sick of seeing in those roles, like Liam Neeson in his good guy thing and Danny Houston in his bad guy thing, and you're probably like, almost like it doesn't feel interesting to see either of them in those roles. It feels like them doing it as a comedy makes it a lot more fun and gives them better performances for it. Like I said before, I've never seen Pamela Anderson be this good in anything. I think she's really great. I think the fact that they're so game for comedy, and you don't see like, the Lonely Island guys doing it, or, Seth MacFarlane worked on this, you don't see him or something. I think that makes it a lot funnier and definitely gives it a different vibe. I know that was intentional, but that also they're down for some of the stuff. I mean, I think there's a lot been said about the snowman scene. You are not ready, and it's crazy and weird and makes no sense, but I like that about it. I like that this film like both is being like trying to be a Zaz comedy and definitely does that, but at the same time like does Lonely Island stuff and does Seth MacFarlane stuff and merges all these comedy styles together, which normally that sounds horrible, but I do think, again, that's what Zaz did. Like, if you watch like I love Mystery Science Theater. I don't know if you knew that, but sure you do. But like, when you're doing joke a minute things, what I have noticed over the years, you're doing like a thing that's just full of jokes, right? You're doing a variety. You end up doing a variety of jokes because, well, you have to fill a time with like 100 jokes. You're not going to say the same knock knock joke 100 times. Although I think you could make that funny. But you know what I mean? You're wanting to mess around and do a variety of stuff. And that's really, I think, why Akiva Schaffer was able to nail this as much as he did. Yeah, sure, it's not as good as The First Naked Gun, or Airplane, or Top Secret, or Popstar, whatever. It is still really good. Ranking is dumb. Watch a good movie, man. And like for real, Anyway, I don't want to ruin everything and stuff. This is a big step up from Chip and Dale, for real. But I think it really showed why this genre was good. It reproved to us, like, the whole people who were like, you can't make that, they won't let you make, Blazing Saddles or this or whatever anymore. And it's like, well, they just did it, so shut the fuck up, maybe. No, and it's like definitely like people going like, hey, you said we couldn't make this anymore. Well, we did it, and they did it really well. There's like, all of these actors really nail it. You have to have great performances in these things. Airplane is funny because everyone who was there was into it and liked doing it, and you can tell that here, and it's not trying to be topical. I guess the Elon Musk stuff is a little topical, but not really. Like, the laughs are not because of that. It has so many, like, it's like I'll just say this one, that there's a Buffy TiVo gag that I'm like, I want to know like where that came from. I would love an article about where did the Buffy TiVo a joke come from. There's like so many. The Miranda Rights joke. Oh fuck. I don't know, man. There's just so many that would like. There was a certain point I was like, could you like stop joking? Because I need to like keep up like with so I can appreciate each one. Paul Walter was great. Paul Walter, I think, deserves a lot more credit because he can be good in so many different things. Like, I think we should have known he's a great comedic actor. When you look at like what he did in that Reno 911 Quibi season, he was really good in that. I never saw Richard Jewell, and now I just want to because I like him. I'm not a big Clint Eastwood fan, but I don't know. I'm just sort of a little over the moon for this. I think this is one of the best movies of the year. I think it's one of the best directed things. I think it might be better directed than Popstar because you're surprised they could nail this. But I think Popstar is funnier, but we'll see. Maybe I'll feel better about this later. But I think it shows like why the Naked Gun movies were cool, why Zaz was so great, why this style was once like a really like I remember Hot Shots, and maybe that isn't as good. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember when these would come out, it was like exciting, and eventually, it didn't work out at a certain, like, scary movies coming back. Parody movies are fun. I think there's certain people who appreciate these sort of things, and if you are a person who appreciates things, this is like a very intensely well-directed, amazing comedy, the way Zaz was amazingly great at directing these things. And I think Akiva Schaffer achieved something that I think that no one has done, well, it's since himself, I guess, but no one has really done, no one has done this consistently. I want to see more. Please don't make like Chip and Dale or any other movies with like real plots that I give a shit about. Just like dumb shit like this is what I want from him, and I think we all want, and he's way better at. Liam Neeson, everyone was great in this. No one phoned it in at all. There was like some real blinking you'll miss it thing. Like, this is a rewatchable movie that knows it's a rewatchable movie that is so good you want to rewatch it. It's very one of the most rewatchable movies this summer. I think there's been a lot of, we've had a lot of positivity with the superhero movies this year, and a lot of great movies this year that make you believe in cinema and all that stuff. But this makes me believe in cinema, of a cinema I forgot, which was laughing a lot in the theater, and that was a lot of fun. I love being grossed out and have a cool action sequence, all that, but like this reminded me of one of the things I love going to the movies. And like when I started going to the movies, it was the height of Jim Carrey and the Farrelly brothers at their beginning peak and like all those things. And like this reminded me of a thing I used to love going to the theater for. I still have watched comedies this whole time, and I put out reviews of older comedies, but I have not gotten to experience that. And it was like I was on a real cloud nine. It took me a while to like not be like, I couldn't listen to like anything sad. I had to listen to the Beastie Boys' Hello Nasty, because I was like, I need like a fun album right now. Like this is a high I haven't felt. Just like the love I got from that comedy was really like I don't know why we let this kind of thing not happen that much, because this was an amazing feeling. Just for that, like one of my favorite theatrical experiences this year, definitely up there. Just absolutely amazing. I loved it. So thank you very much for this. I think it's just a great movie overall. And yeah, if we're going by the great parody comedies of all time, sure, it's not number one, but what we needed right now, and it was definitely up there, and it was a lot of fucking fun. I just could not, it was really infectious, and I like thinking about it and remembering parts of it. And part of me is like, there were so many good gags, I don't think I could remember all of them. There were just too many, and I'm very excited to see it again and again and again. And man, what a wonderful movie. I'm very happy that a studio and Seth MacFarlane and the people behind this are actually willing to take a chance on something that it feels silly to take a chance on, but I think sometimes you just need silly to get through life. So if you've seen The Naked Gun 2025 and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.